One here. I know that a lot of you like my Fixing Your Scratch project series, where I take the projects that you submit to me and I show you how I would turn them into a full game. This video is in a similar vein, but instead of fixing one of your projects, I thought it might be interesting to fix one of Scratch's tutorial projects, considering these projects are the foundations that all new Scratchers are expected to leap from. I will admit to being slightly disappointed by the lack of options for tutorial projects to choose from. I started learning Scratch when it was still in version 2.0, and I remember there being a lot of tutorials to pick from, if my memory serves. But now there are only two that I could see, a clicker game or a chase game. I selected the chase game and it was awful. Clunky movement, boring mechanics, and an absolute assault on the old earholes. But luckily, that gives me a lot of leeway for raising the bar because right now it's at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. The first thing I did was to redraw the player. I kept it as an octopus to keep things tied to the original, but I made my version smaller to increase the player's field of view, and I think my version is just a whole lot cuter. I set up a basic movement engine, and yes, it's basically the same one as from the tutorial I made a few weeks back. I made it so that the octopus looks in the direction of movement to make things feel more dynamic. I also anchored the player to the center of the screen and made the background move instead to give the player more space in the world than one screen width. I simplified the background and made it so everything gets darker the deeper you go to create the illusion of sinking deeper into the big blue sea. I then had to adapt the collectibles to work with this new system, replacing the bulky stars with little balls and making it so their movement works with the scrolling. I also added some significant pitch shifting to the pickup sound effect to make it less grating on the ears. I also added a timer, capping the length of the game and giving the player a definitive score at the end of each round gives the player a chance to improve and increase the odds of keeping them engaged. I used the same number display system to display the score because I think that Scratch's inbuilt variables look terrible. To add more of a progression curve, I made it so that as you go deeper, it's harder to move. I did this by increasing the friction and capping the maximum speed, and I also made it so that the lower you go, the better the collectibles are, so that the player is incentivized to go as low as they can despite the lower speeds. And to increase the sense of depth, I added a scrolling background to make it clear which way you're moving. And finally, to really round off the progression path, I added an upgrade system where you can use the points you've accumulated from across all your rounds to upgrade your speed, how many collectibles spawn, or the value of said collectibles. You can upgrade any of these from a shop that you return to at the end of each round. But I hope that this gives you an idea of how even the most basic of basic projects can be transformed into something interesting and fun if you take a bit of time to develop them. But apart from that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did. It lets me know that this is something that you want to see more of. Join the Discord, link down below, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!